It's the jewelry of every home, lighting. But where do you start when you're looking to find that perfect lighting fixture for whether it's your ceiling, wall sconce, or lamp? We'll have the perfect guest that's joining me today where he's going to answer all of those questions and so much more. So without further ado, please welcome Raymond from Studio PGRB.
The home design and remodeling show. It's the one.
And the thing is, when it comes to lighting, a lot of people really don't know where to start, what the amount of selections, the amount of finishes, how to select products. But, let's start. Introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and tell us a little bit about Studio PGRB.
My name is Raymond Barbarouz. I'm the founder of Studio PGRB, co-founder, along with my wife, Pretty Gandhi. And we started in about 2012, and then officially in 2013 when we registered with the state of Florida.
Awesome.
And we've been doing custom lighting, interior lighting for hotels, residential, commercial projects throughout the past 7 years actually. So we've been doing good.
That's awesome. So what's your background? I mean, did you start, in lighting? I know you have a little bit of architecture in your background. Where'd that start?
I started in architecture, went to architecture school in DC at Howard University, and once graduated, went into doing a lot of commercial work.
Yep.
And commercial interior work, and then eventually started, worked at one firm, then went to another, did some healthcare work.
Yep.
As well, and some residential work as well. So it varies depending on the which office I was with at the time.
Right, absolutely. And now you're like you're fully engulfed into the lighting world and lighting design. And
Yes.
I'm excited about you telling everybody, because what a lot of people don't realize, or they may or may not know, is you are the creator, you're the manufacturer. You are the designer of the product.
Yes, I design, I hand make every single fixture that goes out of our shop, from start to finish, the testing, the polishing, the materials, fabrication, obviously sometimes I get parts fabricated by other people,
Right.
and finishes done by other people, but majority of it is done by hand here.
That's
here in
amazing.
the studio.
That's incredible. So
Thanks.
how does the process, tell us a little bit about the design process? Is it, pencil to paper, or are you more so creating as you go when you're creating new fixtures and new lines?
It varies. It all depends, I guess, on the mood or whatever comes to my mind.
Right.
But typically it is sketched. Something is sketched on a piece of paper. Like an idea
Yep.
comes to my head, and I just sketch it out on some scrap paper, and then things like this.
Right.
And then if it pans out to be something that I want to continue doing, then I'll actually build a 3D model of it.
Yeah.
To investigate further, like how just to figure out how much, get an approximate cost of how much it would cost to build it,
Right.
and what the detailing and how detailed it is, and is it something that is feasible for the price point? You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
I
Because
don't want
obviously,
to. Yeah, I don't want to create something out of range of ridiculous price. So
right.
I want something that people will enjoy in their home and can have in their home.
Right. Absolutely. And the thing is, so, you have, everyone should definitely check out your website, and obviously your Instagram. It's at Studio PGRB. But, when it comes to the selection that you have, that you guys, stock and you're able to ship out, it's impressive. I mean, you already have a wide selection, but,
Thanks.
and for, do you work with designers and homeowners and, different firms that, if they have an idea of something that they're specifically looking for? I mean,
Mhm.
tell us about the process and design process, from, items that you do have in design, and also others that where if somebody wanted something custom.
Well, yeah, we work closely with designers. They're our biggest customers,
Right.
and they are purchasing for their clients. So they relay whatever information from their clients to us, depending on the size. Like if we have all our sizes on the website of all our fixtures.
Right.
So if they say, well, we want something bigger, we love that fixture, but we want something bigger, can you do it? And we usually say yes,
Right.
because it's a lot of times it's very easy to do to just make it smaller, bigger,
Right.
or add a couple of more lights to something, to one of our designs. But at the same time, we kind of control it in a way where we don't want to mess with the design as well. So
Right.
if it's
Exactly.
something we're not comfortable doing, we'll say, well, that's not going to look good. We don't think that's going to look good.
Right.
So what if we do it this way? So we'll throw ideas back and forth between the designer and myself, and get something that the customer, their client, would really love to have in their house.
Right. And I see a fixture actually hanging right behind you.
Yes.
And obviously I see a number of different things. I mean, you tell us about that fixture in particular, because it looks like, what is it, like a matte white with a brass finish inside? And
That fixture particularly is it's called our Brooklyn fixture. It's a gloss white finish.
oh, it's gloss white. Now I see it's
Gloss white, and then the interior is
Wow.
satin brass.
That's
And
beautiful.
and it comes in different finishes. We have matte black, gloss black. We have satin brass all around, also.
Yeah.
And it could be polished nickel, brushed nickel, brushed pewter, bronze. Different finishes. And those different finishes, depending on which one you select, there's sometimes an upcharge, because
Right.
some finishes are harder to produce than others.
Absolutely. And when talking about finishes, what can you tell us about finishes in particular? Because, today, you hear designers talking about finishes, some like mixing finishes, and I'm talking about design in particular, but specifically incorporating lighting into existing design schemes. People really shouldn't be afraid of mixing finishes, but, specifically you have so much variety that regardless of what somebody has, it seems like you have something that will match any design style and finishes that someone might already have in their home.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about personal taste.
Right.
You'll hear some people say, well, you shouldn't mix brass and nickel, or and most of the time it's true, but sometimes it can work in a certain space. So
Right.
it's all about your own personal taste. But we offer all those different finishes, and if somebody decides, well, can you, like if they don't see something on our website, we'll say,
Right.
we just say, let us know what finish you want, and we'll see if we can get it done.
That's great.
But yeah, mixing, designers tend to say stick with nickel, and nickel, or you can do nickel and black, similar
Right.
finishes. But
Yeah.
I always say it's all a matter of taste.
Right. Exactly. And the fact that, you're able to, cater to anybody, but what tips can you give us when it comes to lighting? There's a lot that goes into lighting that, people start to realize once they're going into the selection process, from color of the bulb to, obviously, the finishes that we already discussed. But, what can you say as far as specifically like tips to the proper size fixture for certain size room? Is there any type of formula or, way of going about selecting finishes for certain types of rooms?
There is a formula, and a lot of information is available online
Right.
for that, if somebody wants to get that. Typically, the formula is based on the size of the room, the length and the width of the room you want the light fixture to be
Okay.
in. If I remember correctly, you take, like, say you have a 10-foot space by 12-foot space.
Right.
So you take that 10-foot space and you basically turn it into inches. So it's 10 inches by 12 inches.
Okay.
Equals 22 inches. So that would be the diameter of the fixture that you would want in the room.
That's a great way of going about it. I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
So if it's a 12 by 12 space, so it's like 12 inches by 12 inches, and the diameter of the fixture you want in your room would be 24.
Right.
So, that's an easy way to remember it. But again, it's all about personal taste.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you'll see these huge fixtures in a smaller room, and it actually works.
Right.
So it all balances depending on taste.
And I'm just looking, Sutton Living just commented in. I couldn't agree more. It's truly the
Yes,
jewelry of the
it
home. Yeah.
is. It
I mean,
is.
it really dresses up a space, because, obviously fixtures, ceiling fixtures, but wall sconces, I mean, it's unlimited. I mean, you guys do so much when it comes to different types of fixtures, but, I couldn't have said it better, but it is truly
Yeah.
jewelry of your home. And, it dresses everything up. So,
Yeah, it could make or break the space that you have. Like if you
right.
have like a pretty crappy light fixture in there and you have this
Right.
amazing space,
Or
that's
no light fixture.
or no, yeah, or no light fixture.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even a lot of the homes, I mean, if somebody has an older home, it doesn't necessarily have all the proper lighting, but having the right lighting is the best investment that you can make. And also, it's not just artwork, that decorates a room. Lighting, it will actually make a larger impact than most things.
Yes, very true. It is true. Lighting plays a huge role in a space, whether it be like a pendant chandelier, a floor lamp, a table lamp. It all plays an important role.
Absolutely. And what can you tell us just about wall sconces? Because, I guess a lot of people, their first, thought when they think of lighting is obviously ceiling lighting or, lamps or things like that. What can you tell us about sconces in particular? Because, I've been starting to see that become, a little bit more popular of a trend where people are incorporating that.
It has become more popular. And prior to this year, we really only had one light sconce, and people have been asking us, when are you going to come out with more light sconces, more light sconces? So we've been developing more light sconces, and I have one. But anyway, so light sconces, they're more decorative, and they're not for light output really.
Right.
They're more to enhance the space. To create a mood in whatever space you put them
like
in.
accent lighting.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that most people think, well, I don't need to put a sconce in here, but you shut off the rest of the lights in the room and you have the sconce, and it's a beautiful, moody environment. So it all plays. Each fixture has its role, basically.
And that's a good point, because people should really think about that when they're designing their spaces, because it's not just lighting a room up. It's creating a certain type of, like you said, mood, or really accenting certain parts of your space.
Mm-hmm. Another important tip is when you are deciding to start designing your room for lighting, is to create a lighting plan.
Right.
Interior designers, they'll do the schematic, they'll draw the light fixture here, there. But if for yourself, just figure out, it could be a loose sketch. Just figure out, I think I'd like 2 sconces here,
right,
a chandelier here, a lamp, a table lamp, 2 table lamps, a floor lamp. And it's just a matter of just figuring out where you think would be best to put, depending on your current layout or the new layout of the space.
Without a doubt. And the thing is, like, when a consumer or a designer, really anybody, when they're looking at lighting, are there certain things that people should pay attention to really know the quality of a product? Are there other tips that you can offer? I know that all of your products are beyond high quality. I mean, I've seen them firsthand. Obviously, I've been to your studio. You exhibit in the Home Designer Remodeling show. It's absolutely spectacular. I mean, photos don't even do it justice, and your photos are beyond impressive. But what can people look for when it comes to quality?
Well, a lot of times, big box places, you'll like, you go to, say, a Target or Home Depot, any of this, and when you take it home and you put the fixture together, it kind of has a quality that you can tell isn't high quality.
Right.
The fit and the finish just don't work a lot of times. Sometimes it could be wobbly, sometimes it's a little crooked. So but then you'll have fixtures from those big box stores that actually look good.
Right.
They'll be fine. When you put it together, have it hanging, and they'll look great. But they won't last very long.
Absolutely.
In your space. So that's why I always tell some people to really lighting is an investment. Really invest, because it's going to last a long time if you have a good quality piece that basically, and try to stay away from trendy pieces too.
Right. Absolutely.
The trends come and go, and then so you're stuck with this, fixture that you feel like, oh, that was so 5 years ago.
No, without a doubt, and
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it, because and a lot of people end up falling into that, for furnishings, for lighting, for everything, because it's you don't want to have to replace your furnishings and your design every
Right.
few years, and that goes with
Right.
colors too.
Yeah. Everything we do here, we basically, like, I have a setup right here that I'm about to put together. So
Okay.
this setup is going to turn into this fixture over here. So everything we have, we make sure that the fit and the finish is pretty much on point.
Right.
'Cause
Exactly.
we know people are paying a lot of money for these, and so we want to give them a good quality product.
Right.
And these are some of our newest fixtures. A lot of people, if you've gone to the our Instagram, you'll have seen this. That's the TC-6 light fixture. And then this is the newest one. We haven't even.
That's
You
beautiful.
guys are the first to see it. Sorry, there's no light plugged in right now, but
No.
so we're excited about those two. They were supposed to show at we were supposed to reveal them at a show in New York, but that show got canceled because of COVID.
Right. Exactly.
So we
Yeah, we're all hoping to get back to being in do shows, but it's just a matter of being innovative these days. But those pictures
Yes.
are beautiful.
Yes, and we premiered a fixture at Florida Home Show
Yep.
last year when we were there, and I believe it's here, but it's not. There's no bulbs or anything in it. It was one of it's hanging right there.
So when will those
Going to
pictures
a client soon.
Oh, that one will be? That's nice. Awesome. When will those fixtures actually be available for purchase?
We trying to figure out a name for the for
Gotcha.
one of them. But the TC-6 one is available now. It's on our
Okay.
website and everything. And once we figure out a name for the other one and finish taking some pictures of it, it'll be available on the website soon.
Very good. Very good. Definitely make sure you're updating us so that way we can share that as well.
Will do.
What else can you share with us? Is there anything that you would really want to highlight when it comes to lighting design and, really about you guys as well? There's a lot that separates you.
A lot of people who contact us directly, not through a designer, will always have this very question. It's like, how high should the fixture be above
That's a good point.
my dining room table? So there's a lot of rules. There's not a lot of. There's a rule of it being 30 to 36 inches above the dining room table.
Right.
But again, that is all depending on what your taste is. Like,
Right.
a lot of times you'll have a view that you don't want to block from your dining room table. So if that fixture is blocking the view, like an outdoor view or something,
Right.
you want to make it a little higher so it can avoid, so you can see that nice view of the city or the beach or whatever,
Exactly.
whatever it is. So it all depends on your own personal taste and how your house is set up.
And talking about how to hang things, as far as sconces in particular, is there a rule as far as how high a sconce should be, or?
I believe it's typically 6 feet from the
Okay.
floor. Yeah, I'd have to look into that one. I don't know so much about that one, but it's
Okay.
typically 6 feet from the floor to the bottom of the fixture. I believe, if I remember correctly.
Awesome.
And so that's the typical dimension. Yeah.
Perfect. So, obviously everyone should be checking you out. Tell us all, what's the best way to reach you? Obviously your Instagram's impressive.
Thank
You're
you.
always updating that. But, tell us all of the best ways to contact you so that way everyone can.
The best way to contact us is through email.
Okay.
Which is our email address is info@studiopgrb.com, and all that information is available on our contact section of our website as well. We also have a sales at studiopgrb.com.
Okay.
And all our fixtures, dimensions, we even have cut sheets available on the website for people to download, and they can get an idea of the size of dimensions, the diameters, the height, everything of each fixture.
Right. And obviously, Studio PGRB on Instagram. I expect everyone to go there, but Sutton Living has a great idea that I actually would love to see you do this. When naming a product, what better way to get input from all your followers?
Actually, my wife had mentioned that. She's like, why don't you do a story and just have somebody, get a competition of naming it and offer something to, the winner.
Absolutely.
Which is a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely. I will definitely be putting my input in there, but I think that's a great idea. You should definitely do that. Really get, people excited about it. Yeah.
Less work for me too.
Right. So, but I'll be waiting for that, and we'll share that as well, so that way we can make sure that you're getting the right name for it. But Raymond, I can't thank you enough for joining me today. I've learned a lot about lighting, but seriously about your company and what you're doing is incredible. So definitely keep up, and I appreciate your partnership with the home shows, and I just I'm looking forward to everything that's going to come.
Yeah, the home shows are great. I mean, I met a lot of designers through there, a lot of even stuff that I'm like, oh, I want that for my home.
Right. It's actually dangerous going because
it is very dangerous going there.
Right. Absolutely. No, it's great. And, you're always a part of the home show family, but, obviously for everybody, when it comes to the home design and remodeling show, we are Florida's largest community for everything home design and home improvement. So make sure you check out, go to our Instagram, FL Home Shows. Our website is homeshows.net. We have a lot of new things coming. Raymond, I told you about some new things. We're really going to be creating that platform that's year round. So, so we're excited about it. And Raymond, anything else you want to leave us with?
Let me do one more thing.
Yeah.
So this is the sconce version of the TC-6 that we are also getting ready to release as well. So we're looking forward to that too.
That's amazing. So, and that's the thing. So people are going to able to match the products because, as far as sizes, but sconces to ceiling fixtures and things like that.
We're trying to create a lot more collections for each of our pictures. So you'll have a sconce version of it, pendant, a chandelier, things like that, even a floor or table lamp. So we're trying to work those into a whole collection.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate that and everything that you're doing for the design community. So, Raymond, thanks again for today. Thanks for checking in with us, and we'll definitely get on here again soon.
Oh, there's a question though. What would you recommend for bathroom lighting?
Oh, there we go. Yes, bathroom lighting.
As far as bathroom lighting, the size of your mirror or your medicine cabinet plays a big role in that, because you don't want something that's too big that overshadows, goes past it too much, or too small. A lot of times people have sconces on each side, and that gives a good balance of light for throwing the light onto you, so that you have a good you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, oh yeah, I can see that I need to comb my hair a lot better or whatever. So lighting on the sides, or light at the top of the medicine cabinet or your mirror. I think she just mentioned double sinks, so I assume you can even do 2 fixtures. Yeah. You would have to, with the double sink, it's probably 3, because you'll have one on the left of the sink, one in the center, and then one to the sink on the right. So probably 3. And then if you want, you can even put smaller or size appropriate fixtures above the
I've even seen similar fixtures to the one that's behind you, hanging above the sinks as well. So there's a lot of different things. It could be ceiling fixtures that, is illuminating above the sink itself. So, you guys have a lot of different styles. It definitely accommodates that. Hi-hats. Are hi-hats still in style?
I'm not a fan of hi-hats, but they work really well in terms of light and providing light. We have some in our kitchen, and we have it going along so they pretty much illuminate the countertops. So they work really well, but a lot of times people tend to say they break.
Right.
You know, like the components will break when you're installing the bulb. Like ours cracked, so we had to get it replaced. You know, at least that's our experience.
Right.
So if you can add lighting in a different way besides hi-hats, I would definitely.
And the one thing that I'll say, because it is good for hi-hats, it's good to have in your home in areas, but going
Right.
back to the comment before about lighting fixtures being jewelry for the home, and going back to what you were saying about really creating a mood in different areas, in different rooms, it's good to have them on separate switches, because
Yes.
it's good to have hi-hats when you really need the lighting, but when you want to have a mood or a certain style, that's where fixtures truly come in, because it's
Right.
going to it's going to transform your space.
It is. That's a very good point, Adam. Yeah, it does transform your space, and it will highlight. You can use it to highlight a wall.
Yeah.
To highlight art on the wall, wallpaper that you really like. Different ways.
Absolutely.
Again,
And the
all
thing
the
is,
matter
like,
of taste.
and also, if you have really high ceilings, you want to sometimes bring something down a little bit lower to break up the sight line. So
Right.
But yeah, no, we covered a lot today, Raymond, and everybody, anyone that get in direct contact with Raymond at Studio PGRB. But in regards to the home show, obviously you can always follow us at FL Home Shows. I will be sharing a lot of Raymond's work, and Sutton Living mentioned 4-inch LED hi-hats work well and are less intrusive, which is a great point.
I like the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Definitely the smaller ones work well.
Absolutely. So, but thanks again, Raymond. Anything else? I mean,
Anytime. No,
yeah.
anytime.
We'll definitely get on here again, and send us your questions, send Raymond your questions, and we'll definitely get back to everyone and answer them. And I'm really looking forward to next time, Raymond.
All right, me too. Take
Thanks
it easy,
again.
Adam.
Have a great weekend.
Before everyone leaves, make sure you check out Raymond at his website at studiopgrb.com. And also, check us out on our website at homeshows.net. You can always find us on all of our social media platforms at FL Home Shows. But every single Wednesday at 4:30 p.m., you can always check us out for a new episode of At Home of the Home Show. And you can always check us out on our YouTube. But make sure you subscribe now at FL Home Shows for our YouTube page, so that way you can stay up to date on all of the latest design tips, trends, information, and inspiration, as the Home Designer Remodeling Show is South Florida's first step to better home living and home lifestyle. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.